Good afternoon. Welcome to the Rewards Master Live. I think this is my ninth live session, and hopefully they're getting a little bit better as time goes by. So, if you're here and you jump in, it would be great if you would let me know in the comments, and I'd appreciate that immensely. All right. As we dive in, I just wanted to apologize for not having one last week because of the fact that we were traveling and we were in the mountains, and my internet coverage at Lake Tahoe was just real bad. Um, it was it was just not good. So I didn't think having a live would have been possible up there. So here we're back in my studio at home, and so really excited to be able to get back on board. Hey, we got a few people signing in. Jazz Fan says first. So Jazz Fan 27 was waiting and was the first one to jump in. Good to have you here. RC channel member says hi. So good to have you here with us. Thank you, RC, for your support. Source King says on board. All right. Source King, good to have you with us today. And Frugal Dad Finance, good afternoon, all. Good to have you here. New live chat hat. Yeah, well, it's not really. I just kind of rotate my hats all the time. So this is my Gibson guitar hat. I love Gibson guitars, so I wear it every now and again. But thanks for noticing. Appreciate that. Let's see. We've got, I think, 9 people in here, so that's a good amount to get started with, at least for my lives. I know for some people that wouldn't be very many, but for me, I'm happy with whoever wants to tune in. So just kind of going to my typical, what I've tried to do as far as a plan on these live sessions is I like to have, kind of a general roadmap to go by. So every time I do these, starting for maybe 2 or 3 of them ago, I try to have 6 different themes that we're going to look at. And I try to keep them under an hour. So that's going to be our time frame, hopefully, because Sundays are a pretty busy day for me. So the things that I try to talk about every week are new developments. So that's basically, and these days in the credit card world, that's a lot of things. I mean, new developments are happening literally all the time. And so today, well, it'll be kind of different than usual. Usually I'm talking about things like, well, Chase has messed up all their cards, or I might talk about how American Express is raising their annual fees. Whatever's new in the community is what I usually talk about. But today I'm going to talk about something that is new, I think, but was new to me especially. So new developments. Restaurant rewards. I just don't know of many in the reward space that talk about restaurant rewards. And I do, because I'm all about getting maximum value and double and triple and quadruple dipping on things. And restaurant rewards are the way to do it. And they get no love, no attention from anybody. So I thought, well, I could just take a couple minutes in my live streams and point out some things that might be beneficial for people. And then I have a centerpiece. And so my centerpiece is kind of my main event of the day, the thing that I want to spend the most time on, that's really on my mind. And so that kind of takes up the bulk of our time. And then I'll talk about some upcoming travel. We do a lot of travel, and we're planning to do even more. My spouse she's really getting into all of this points and miles. It took time. If you've got a player or two that you're having trouble getting on board with it all, just take them on some great trips. And eventually she's even said, well, maybe I'll do a travel channel one of these days. So we'll see if that works out. She'd be awesome at it because she's got the best personality. So that would be great. But upcoming travel is some things that I just talk about that and get your suggestions on some of those things. Reward deal of the day. That's something that I think is just a really good deal that you might not want to miss. And then status stuff. That's another thing a lot of people don't talk about, but I talk about status pretty much every time, at least for a couple minutes at the end is my plan. And if we don't get through all these, I'll roll over whatever we don't get to the next week to keep us in that 1 hour time commitment. Okay, let's see. We've got 17. Wow, that's like doubled from the last time I looked at it. 17, that's awesome. So let's see who else is on here. Cesar Joel. All right. Thank you, bud. Appreciate you getting on and looking forward to seeing you in November. It's going to be a great time. I'm excited about it. So let's see, any other comments? None yet. So we can dive right in to our first topic, which is new developments. Okay, under new developments, as I said, this is not really a new development in the general credit card community or world. It's more of a new development, or I guess a nuanced development, you might say, that I have noticed. I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago, and that video got, at least for my channel, a lot of traction, lots and lots of comments. And that's when I talked about how it seems to me, and some of the responses, didn't line up with this. So I can't say this for sure. It's just my own intuition. But it seems to me like Barclays has loosened some kind of standards or something, because I've never been able to get Barclays cards because I'm one of those people that has lots of cards and, a robust credit score. And I seems like they don't want people that are opening lots and lots of cards and seem to be churners, which I would definitely fit into that camp. So I've tried for Barclays cards before and just gave up on it. Well, I don't know. I just had an idea that I should try again. So this year I tried for the Hawaiian card. I got it. My spouse tried for the Aviator Red card. She got it. I tried then for the Aviator Red card myself. I got it. She got an upgrade offer for her Aviator Red card over to the Silver card, which I've always wanted. I've always thought it was so cool. But you have to have the Aviator Red card for a whole year, at least you did in the past. And then you have to maybe get invited. And, I figure, well, I'll never put enough spend on the red card to get invited for that. But lo and behold, after only, I think, 4 months, she got an invite to go up to the Aviator Silver card. So something seems to me to be going on with Barclays. I think it's probably because they're selling their book in less than a year over to Citi. And I think they're just trying to acquire as many customers as they can. Now, some people said that they got denied when I put out the video. So it's not an across the board. Don't take this as, everybody's getting approved for Barclays. I'm not meaning that. But it just seems a little different. Like maybe they're loosening up on some of their stuff. I don't know. And especially on this upgrade to the Silver card. So that's kind of what I wanted to focus on, and particularly talk about a little bit of an experience we had when we were flying out west to Lake Tahoe this last week. We had a really interesting thing happen. So I want to talk about that. Let's see who else is on here. Rodrigo says, what bonus did you get on the Aviator? On the Aviator, her Aviator, she got 60. And on my Aviator that I just got, I got 50. Those are not good bonuses. But I was like, well, we better get them before it's gone, because as of months from now, nobody will ever be able to get the Aviator again from Barclays. And I really doubt that we're ever going to see many offers that are make one purchase and get your points. So to me, even that 50,000 point bonus for one purchase, that's pretty good. I mean, that's what made that Aviator card just amazing. It's not the amount of points they give, but what you got to do to earn those points. So, nope. Jagger Kissed Q Siege says, I can't get the Aviator, LOL. Okay. See, like I said, it's not that this is an across the board thing. It's just with me, I couldn't believe it. I've never been able to get Barclays cards, and they're just approving. I think our next one is we'll probably get her the Hawaiian card so we can move them over to Alaska before it's all gone, because the Hawaiian cards are going to go away eventually too because of the whole Alaska Hawaii thing. So we'll see how all that pans out. Let's see how many we have. 22 people watching. That's awesome. That's the most I've had at a live stream in a while. So y'all are encouraging me. I appreciate it very, very much. First, we get to 1,300 subscribers. Now I got 22 people watching. That's encouraging. Thank you so much. All right. So this development that I experienced, well, first of all, let me go through. I made a little slide here. Loosened upgrade approvals. That's what I was talking about. And I put a question mark because I think it's probably, not across the board, like we said. But the Aviator, you go from the $99 or $95 annual fee, I can never remember, up to $199 annual fee. But I always have wanted this card. This card is cool. I mean, if you're an American person, this card is it's rare. In fact, I've asked every flight attendant we've handed it to, do you ever see these cards? And they've all said, I've never seen that card before. Every single one of them. And it was like, now that's like 4 or 5 flight attendants, not too many so far, but still, they haven't seen the card. It's just kind of a unicorn card, it seems like a little bit. So I always wanted it because it's just got different features than any other card that there is. And I think it's probably worth that $199, especially for AA loyalists. So it gives, of course, a free bag and priority boarding. This is my spouse's card. So when we boarded, because we bought our tickets separate, I boarded in group 2 because of my Platinum Pro status, but she boarded in group 5. And I thought, well, that's not a great boarding group. Well, I mean, it wasn't 3 minutes I was on the plane and she was sitting right next to me again. So she boarded pretty fast after group 2 in group 5. I think groups 3 and 4 maybe didn't have many people. And so most of the plane came on after group 5. So group 5 boarding, there was tons of overhead bed space when she got on there. So even though that doesn't sound all that awesome, it was pretty decent. It was pretty decent. Okay, TSA Global Entry Credit. So that's always good. This is kind of a cool feature, $50 Wi-Fi credit. We've used $20 of that so far. And I just did it on my tablet, signed in, paid for it, and it came right off within 3 or 4 days of the card, the credit did. So that's pretty good. So we still have a $30 credit to use. And then let me talk about, let's go ahead and talk about this part now after I see who all has jumped in, if there's any comments. So Frugal Dad says 50K points by buying a pack of gum is a killer. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I'm like, it's a no-brainer. If a person can get it, the Barclays card is awesome because of that. And I've got the new Alaska card too, and I've never had a Bank of America card before. I can't stand their app. It's just awful. But I thought Barclays app is pretty good. It even gives like an award tracker, like to help you know if you're meeting the spend or not. So I'm kind of impressed with their app, even though I know it's going away when they go to Citi. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you, Frugal Dad. Source King, it's essentially 50K AA points for $99. And that's a no-brainer. Yeah. I mean, I would buy 50,000 points for $99 all day, every day, forever. I'd do it every day if they'd let me till I ran out of money, because that is a great bargain. And that's in essence what they're doing. They're selling you 50,000 AA points for $99. And like I said, I think my player too, I think she got 60,000 when she did it. Frugal Dad, let's hit that like button. Yeah, please, please, please hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I just topped today. In fact, I thought I was going to be able to do a push during this for a new subscriber to hit 1,300 subscribers. And I only hit 1,000 like 2 weeks ago. So things have been going well. Thanks to all of you. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. But it really supports the channel when you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you want to send a super chat, super sticker, anything like that, that all helps immensely. And I appreciate it so, so very much. Okay, D Green says, I was able to upgrade to the silver after holding the red for about 5 months. Easy decision. Yeah. So D Green, I'm curious if you've had this experience. So we wanted to use that $25 a day food and beverage credit. Okay, we're sitting in main cabin extra, so we've got the better seats, but we didn't get upgraded to first class. So we're sitting there. And in one of my flights, I tried to do this recently, I was in first class. And I actually asked the flight attendant if he could go back to the back and I could buy some food. So he tried to do that. So I currently, at this point, have tried to use this benefit 4 times. 4 times. In the 4 times, like I said, the flight attendants had never seen the card before. They didn't know anything about it. One of them was very intrigued, and we had a 30-minute conversation about it. So that was awesome. And she was really intrigued. She's like, I've never seen this before. Tell me about it and all that. Which, us Points and Miles nerds, we really love it when people show interest in this stuff, right? So we talked about that, but she tried to swipe the card. Now, the first time I was by myself and I'm using my spouse's card, so I assumed maybe it didn't work because I was in the wrong seat or something. It wasn't tagged to the name on the card. Maybe that's it. But the next 3 times she was with me and we did it from her seat, tried to use the card. It did not work any of the 4 times. The card has never been charged for food. Not one time. But you'll notice that I put there $25 a day food and beverage credit, and I put never works, and that is good. And let me tell you why. Because all 4 times, the flight attendant said, what we did is we got those tapas boxes. They're like $11 a piece, I think. So that comes out to $22. And all 4 times, they said, just take it. They said, our Wi-Fi doesn't work all the time on these planes. I just couldn't believe it. And I said, well, I don't mind you to charge the card. I wasn't trying to get something for free that was, well, I was, but only because they give it to you for free. I wasn't trying to just get her to give it to me. But every single time, I think that's their policy. If the card doesn't go, if it's something wrong, they assume it's wrong with their system and they do it. So what we did is we tried it on the next flight. So twice in one day. Then you're supposed to only get $25 a day. And then it didn't work again. And they gave us the tapas boxes. I mean, this is AA needs, and the flight attendant said, AA needs to fix this problem with their Wi-Fi. They said, we have this problem all the time. But I thought, what a weird thing for a benefit to give $25 a day, and their cards don't even work on their own system, so they just give away the food. I don't know how much food and drinks AA is giving away, but that was wild. So AA, if you're listening, which I know you're not, you're probably not one of the 27 people. 27 people, that's awesome. 27 people on here. But if you are, I'm not trying to just take from you. I honestly, I just want to use the card, but you got to get your system to work. So I'm curious if any of you've had that same experience. So that was really an interesting thing. But even if it worked as advertised, $25 a day if you fly a lot, that is really, really interesting. No other cards even close to that. All right, let's catch up on some of the comments. There's been a whole bunch come in here. So D Green, like I said, I don't know if you've had that experience, D Green, but tell me that. RC channel member, RC, $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much. That really supports the channel. I appreciate it. Just as I'm starting to grow, that really, really helps me. So those super chats are so, so helpful. And I appreciate it very, very much. All right. RC said, I haven't decided whether to upgrade to the silver from the red yet. Okay. So you have the red card. The silver card, in my opinion, it's worth the extra $100 because, and I'll talk some more about status in a minute, but I really have wanted this card for a long, long time. Kill the boy. Okay. Yeah, I got it now. Do we know if the new premium Alaska card will be completely different on earning multipliers compared to the regular Alaska card? I don't know. I haven't heard. Maybe somebody else has. Put it in the comments. But what I'm praying and hoping for is I want a good airline card. And that to me means either American or Alaska that gives good multipliers on something different than 2X on stuff. I mean, I would love to see a 3X dining, although I'm not all that hopeful, but I don't know. I would really, really consider it if they do that. So that's all I really know to tell you about it. Somebody else might know some more. John R says, Mike, good to see you, sir. Hey, John R, John R has a great channel too. I was just watching one of your videos today about Resi. So that was good. Thank you. Adib Hyder says, I have used the food credit on my silver twice, bought stuff for the kids. Yeah. Okay. So it did work when you swiped it. Okay. That's interesting. Ours just doesn't seem to, but it doesn't seem to keep us from getting our food. So that's kind of cool. All right. Let's see what else is here. Salus Rex says, LOL, got approved for the Aviator Red card on the 29th of March. And just today, as I'm typing this, I got a PC for the Aviator Silver. They're trying to give them away. I'm telling you, it's different than before. They're trying to give them away. Thank you for that data point, Salus. I appreciate it. John R, 29 people. Let's see what's it says 33 on my end. 33 people. That's the most I've ever had in a live stream. Thank y'all so much. RC, thank you again for that super chat. Okay. Manuel Jimenez, good afternoon. Good to see you here. John R, what's up, Rewards Master? Yeah, John R, thank you. Good for being here. Frugal Dad, do you think Citi will keep some version of that card when they get Barclays business. Okay, that is really what's at top of mind for me is, are they going to keep it? I'm hoping that they're not just going to take all their cards and make you transfer over to the platinum card, to the American Advantage Platinum card. I've had that card. I don't have it anymore. Don't care anything about it. I love the executive card with the Admirals Club access, but I do not need their platinum card. And if that happens, I'll just product change them to something else in Citi's lineup if they still allow us to. They're kind of being kind of fuzzy on that these days. But that's what I'm crossing my fingers, is they just do a move over, that these cards are just, they kind of stay the same, but in Citi's lineup. And if that's the case, this is a winner for me. This is a winner for me. Okay, Manuel Jimenez says, oh, he gives $1.99 super chat. Thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. Appreciate it, Manuel. That is really, really helpful. Those make a big difference. D Green, I've only used the $25 food and beverage credit once so far, and it did work. Nice to know AA will just give you the item if their terminal isn't working. Yeah, at least that's been my experience 4 times in a row. I can't promise it'll be every single time, but that's been my experience. Cesar says, John. So he says he gives a wave to John. John R says, thank you, sir. I appreciate the kind words. I appreciate your videos very, very much. Manuel says the Alaska card is supposed to give a 3% points on overseas purchases. It'll be my new overseas card. Right now I use the BILT card. Used to use the Sapphire Preferred, but been using the BILT card. And that's really more because Citi cards just don't work well overseas. You get all these fraud alerts and you got to call them, and that's really inconvenient. So yeah, if that's the case, I'll get it, and it'll be my new card for overseas travel. Vincent Pascal says, hello. Good to have you here, Vincent. John R. Cesar Joel. Hey, Hermano. Matt Clausen. Howdy, all. Good to see you, Matt. Matt's got a phenomenal channel. Several, actually. Some that he does with others. They're really good. Barclays is going to get paid, he says. That's exactly what I think this is about. It's funny that I guess they have no limit on how many cards they can acquire and sell over to them. All right, John R gave me a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, John R. That helps me out a ton. I think that's $1.99. That's almost $6 today. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it so much. Matt says, Citi stepped into a trap door with the backbook purchase and launched Elite. Yeah. I wonder if that's going to mess up the whole deal, depending on how many. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's set in stone, but wow. I mean, what if they acquire millions of new cardholders? What's that going to mean for Citi? I don't know who knows how that's going to work. Matt might have some insight on that. John R. Hey, Matt. Let's see. Well, I'm having trouble keeping up with comments today. This is a new good problem to have with 34 people on board. Matt says, I assume 2026 will be a full refresh of the AA cards. Yeah, just don't mess up the good stuff. That's what I'm hoping. Salis says, I'm thinking they will create a mid-tier card with limited AA lounge coupons, just like the Strata Elite. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, kind of like what the United Explorer card does, where they give a couple passes. So maybe something like that would be possible. Matt says a 0 annual fee, 150, 350, and 595. Yeah, that'd be like a copy of Delta. So that makes sense. Matt says, hey, John. Salis says, and since it's a legacy card, shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Hey, everyone. That's from K1 Cat 37. Good to have you here. Good to have you on board. And Salis says that premium Alaska card is 100% going to get nerfed. If you are an American living overseas, it's a wrap. Yeah, I mean, they'll put all their spending on it and get massive amounts. That's a good point. John R. At K1D Cat 3. What's up, brother? All right. So the other thing about this Aviator card that I think is really interesting is the status boost. So I have a status boost with my executive card also. Now, a lot of people, myself included, are not going to just spend to get to status. I do it a lot of different ways. I do put some spend on my cards, but not a ton. Maybe 20 to 30 grand a year I put on an AA card to help with my status. The rest I do through their hotels portal with the executive card. I've talked about that in other places. It's just amazing the rewards you get from that. But the other thing I do is shopping portal. And pretty much I don't use Rakuten and all that. I think they're great if you want membership rewards and all that. But my shopping portal is the AA portal because I love getting those loyalty points and extra valuable American Airlines points. So this card is interesting because whereas the executive card gives two 10,000 point boosts when you hit 50,000 loyalty points and 90,000 loyalty points, which means that to get to the third tier of status, and that's later on in this one if we get to it today, I'm going to talk about AA status and Delta status and compare them. But when you get those boosts regardless of how you get the LPs, so you don't have to spend on the executive card. So what's interesting is that if you have the executive card and the silver card, you could spend on the silver card to get that boost because they get three different 5,000 point boosts, one at $20,000, one at $40,000, one at $50,000. So I probably would never do the 50 and maybe not even the 40, but even at the 20,000 points, if you put 20 grand on this card, you get that 5 extra plus the 10,000 points if you're making it over 100,000 total loyalty points with the executive card, and that would put you at 25,000. That means to get to the third level of American status, which is Platinum Pro, you're just having to put, basically you're getting 25,000 extra where you only have to get 100,000 loyalty points through other means, which isn't all that terribly hard to do if you fly on American a lot and you're using the portals for like hotels and shopping. So to me, this is a pretty amazing card as a companion card to the executive card for AA for a person who's trying to get system status, boost their status, and has quite a bit of spend with American Airlines cards. So that to me is really good. Now, the downside are the multipliers. 3x on AA, that's not too bad. It's 4x on the executive card, so that's something to consider. But 3x on AA, 2x on hotels and cars. I just used this, had a big hotel bill and put it on this card directly, got 2x for that. So that was okay. I could have gotten more in other places, but I really value American points. So then it's 1x on everything else. And then the other benefit, which I guess is okay, if you're going to go ahead and try to get to the status, it's helpful. You get two $99 companion certificates after $20,000 in spend. I think those are okay, but from the way I understand it, and one of y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but I think they have to be flying together with you. I don't think you can use one and then 3 months later use the other one. And if that were the case, it would be better to me. And so this doesn't particularly excite me. So, all right, we have 36 people, 36. That's like more than 3 or 4 of my other live streams put together. That is awesome. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Let's see. Vincent Pascual says, you were 100% on point with your video on how premium travel cards change everything. Great lessons and warnings for those who are jumping into credit cards for the first time. Thank you. That's just the kind of things I mull around in my head and I try to share with y'all. So thank you for that, Vincent. Salis Rex says, if you hit the 50,000 spend on the silver, it's automatic platinum status if you have the executive as well, which is probably the best for casual travelers. Yeah, I mean, your platinum status is at 75,000. So if you get, you're going to get the extra. Well, let's see, what would it be? 15,000. You're getting 50,000 from the card spend because you get 1 loyalty point per dollar spend. Plus you get the executive. Yeah. And platinum status on American, you're not going to get a lot of upgrades, but you do get main cabin extra seats at booking, which is really, to me, the minimum status I want with them. It's really good. So that's a great point. That's a great point. All right. So that's what I wanted to talk about under new developments, because to me, it's just it's something that's flying under the radar, but it's kind of neat that Barclays is kind of opening up to more of us than they have before. All right, let's see how many. We got 40, the big 40. That is awesome. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. Also, those of you who've given super chats, 3 of you so far, that's so helpful to the channel, and I appreciate it so much. Okay, under restaurant rewards, let's see, let's go back. Under restaurant rewards, I wanted to talk about a program called Seated. Have any of y'all used Seated? Now, I don't live in one of these 13 major cities, but if you live in one of these 13 major cities, and one of my family members does, we go visit there a lot, and I use it every time I'm there. But Seated is a cool app that allows triple and sometimes quadruple dipping. But what's really awesome about it, because there are different ways to triple and quadruple dip with restaurants, but what's really cool about Seated is it gives really amazing rewards on some of the stuff. So it's in 13 major cities: Boston, Atlanta, Dallas, New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, DC, Miami, LA, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, and Phoenix. And they're adding more of them. But we typically go to Dallas to visit family, sometimes Denver, sometimes out west in Phoenix. We got some good friends there. But when we do, I try to use some of these. But what's really cool is that in those cities, this is a massive program. I mean, if you go on the app, and I just checked it today before the live stream, there are lots and lots of restaurants. Now, they're not going to be chain restaurants. They're all kind of local restaurants, but we found some great gems with this. But it has an awesome triple dip opportunity, and it works. And this is what is so cool. It works if a restaurant is listed with Seated and also with BILT Dining, and I don't really use BILT Dining, but with American Airlines or United or any of those, and the one I always use, of course, is American Airlines, you can both get your credit card rewards and you get your AA miles. So if you go there to one of those restaurants 12 times a year, you get 5 miles per dollar spent at those restaurants. Plus, you're getting the Seated rewards, and the Seated rewards can be used for gift cards, and they usually have a pretty good selection of gift cards. But here's what's amazing. The rewards are from 9%, the ones I looked up recently, to 30% back. So when you're going to one of these restaurants, if you spend $100 and it's 30%, you're getting both American miles. So you'd get on $100, that's fine. You get maybe either 300 or 500 American miles. Then you get your credit card rewards. I'd use my City Prestige. I get 500 City points, and you're getting a $30 towards a gift card. $30. It's just amazing to me. And so the Seated app, have any of y'all used Seated before? Please put that in the comments. I think it's a fantastic triple or sometimes even quadruple dip opportunity. All right, let's go. I don't think we have many more comments here, but 37 still watching. That's great. We hit 40. That really made me happy. So I appreciate that and all your support. All right. Anybody know anything about Seated or used it? Let me know in the comments. Moving on to the next section. All right. The centerpiece for today, the BILT changes. All right. Everything is changing so much. My beloved City Prestige card. It's looking like, now it's not confirmed yet, but it's looking like I'm going to have to product change to that new monstrosity that they're coming out with, the Strata Elite. And from what I've seen on the leaks or whatever, rumors, I'm not going to be happy. So it'll be just till the annual fee hits, and then I'm done, because my City Prestige card, I love it. And then, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the massive changes there. There've been so many changes. And now it's going to come to BILT. BILT, of course, is changing from Wells Fargo to cardless. And they're going to have 3 new cards, supposedly. I got that email a while ago. This information's coming from that email that many of us got, that kind of was surveying what people would like best with 2 different card options at each level. So I don't know. That points on mortgages are coming. That's what really makes it compelling to me. But I love my BILT card. I use it really only on the first day of the month, but it might become my full-time dining card after my City Prestige is gone, because 3X dining with getting Alaska, to me, the BILT card is an Alaska card that gets 3X on dining and 6X on dining on the first day of the month. That's what it is to me, because that's what I'm going to use the points to transfer to, is Alaska, because they're so very valuable right now. But BILT has the best transfer partners. It also could be a 3X dining Hyatt card. I mean, but you can do that with Chase too, but it could be great in that way. They have incredible transfer partners, and they also have their status tiers. I was interested in that at the very beginning, but kind of doesn't. I don't want to put that much spend on this card for what I didn't find to be. They say you're going to get better bonuses when they do those transfer bonuses, but I'm just, I don't know. They're not doing them as often as they used to, and they're not quite as good as they used to be. So that doesn't excite me. So what does this look like? And I mean, I'd be curious what you think for you, but for me, I look at these different tiers. And the most exciting one to me, and this is kind of weird because I like premium cards if I can get value from them, but BILT does one thing that just really doesn't work for my lifestyle. And I'll tell you about that in a second. But at their basic card level, in other words, the zero annual fee. So I guess this will be their silver card. I guess that's what that'll be. They had two different options. The option B just didn't excite me because some of these things, BILT neighborhood dining, I'm not going to use. I've never eaten at a BILT neighborhood dining. I don't live in a big enough community for that. So that's not going to work for me. And they really want people to use that. I mean, they're pushing people hard towards that. So that's just not going to work. So the 3X, they're going to give you that a BILT neighborhood dining on that B option. 2X gas, grocery dining doesn't excite me. 1X everywhere else. But what kind of does excite me is that first option. Now, it wouldn't be my dedicated dining card anymore because they're taking away everything except 4X on neighborhood dining, and that ain't going to work when you live in a smaller community like me. But what really excites me is 1.5X on everything. I'm hoping, crossing my fingers, that this is what BILT does, that A option. 1.5X on everything. I mean, this would be my new general spending card. It would be, because that means I'm getting 1.5X Alaska points on all my general spending, which you might say, yeah, but you can get 2X with the Blue Business Plus. Yeah, but Alaska points are real hard to get. And if I could get 1.5X, man, I would be slamming that card all the time. So that's looking good. But if it's the second one, just not exciting at all. Not exciting at all. So I hope it's that first one. Before I go to the next slide, let me see if anybody else has chimed in here. We've got 42. That's a new all-time high. All-time high. Thank y'all for so much. Chad's Money Minutes chimes in. Yo, hey, Chad. What an awesome channel. So if you haven't seen that, go over to Chad's channel. He gets very real in some of the things he shares. I appreciate that so much. Then we got K1 DCAT 37. John R., I hope you're doing well. Saying hello. Rex is saying, hey, John, Matt Clausen, BILT Neighborhood Dining is on Rewards Network. So if you have AA dining, etc., they're all on BILT too. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that I register my cards with AA dining. So I would rather get the AA, but if I can get Alaska with this, I'm going to have to make some choices on that, because that could be pretty good. John R. says 44 now. New all-time high. That's awesome. Thank y'all. John says, hey, Rex. And then K1 DCAT 37, new member. Awesome. That's just as good as a super chat. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I appreciate that so very much. Great support today. Y'all have been awesome. Rex Blind says, would rather get AA points using Advantage cards. All right. So you prefer those over BILT points to be transferred. I love AA points as well. So I'm with you. John R says K1 DCAT 37, living the dream. And D Green, the BILT card is currently my primary dining card, and I'm hoping they keep with the refresh. Yeah. In the next grouping, in the $95 cards, I think we're going to see one very similar to the one that's currently how it is for us. So Rex Blind says, oh, hi, Mr. Master. Hey, I haven't been called that before. That's cool. Gentleman Explorer curious, if BILT handles mortgage payments properly, can't see Chase and Wells having much appetite for this. Yeah. They're not going to like it. And, those of us who have mortgages with some of those lenders, I'm curious how that's going to work out. But they've said they're going to do it. I'm crossing my fingers. Manuel Jimenez, how was Lake Tahoe? I lived there for over 6 years. It was beautiful. It was kind of hot though. I mean, it was hot. We go every year, so it was hotter than usual this time of year, but it's all right. We had a great time, beautiful time, gorgeous water. Everything there is outstanding. Um, K1 DCAT 37, AA points are great for availability, but Alaska miles are just so strong despite some of the lack of availability. Yeah, but I have found pretty good. I was just doing one of my special rewards as far as different ways to use your points for outsized value. I do them for my channel members, and I was just doing one yesterday, and I looked up and I found lots of award availability in business class over to Europe. So you're right, it's not quite as much as AA, but the deals are slightly better much of the time. Like 55,000 points versus 62,500 points, stuff like that. And they seem to have pretty good availability, but yeah, they're both really good. Rex Blind, new member. Thank you, Rex. Appreciate that. I've had several new members today and some super chats. Y'all are making this work for me. I appreciate it so much. All right, the next card on the list is the $95 tier. Well, in their $95 tier, the B card looks pretty much like the card we have now. I mean, it has 5X on BILT neighborhood dining, 5X on Lyft, 3X on dining, 3X on Walgreens. It has 2X on travel and 1X on all other spend. That's really similar to the current manifestation of the BILT card, but it's $95 a year. And then they give these credits. Now, one of these credits is not going to work for me, okay? And one that's not going to work that BILT seems to love. They go all in. A lot of their rent day stuff is about exercise and about working out. And I work out, but I have a home gym. I do not go to a fitness club. I do not go to a gym. And to spend money on that, I got lots of nice equipment at home. Why not do it here? Because you know what? I can listen to Chad or John R. I can listen to some of these other, Matt Clausen, some of these other great guys while I'm working out at home. It just works out great. So I just don't do the fitness club stuff. Now, some people do, and that's great. And maybe it works for you, but especially for me, living in a smaller community, not New York City or LA, and, just those credits and those benefits they give just don't going to work. And so I'm not excited about this. What is it, a $60 credit for that stuff? But then they have a $50 credit to hotels, $60 for Walgreens. So I could make that one work, but I really hope that I can get that zero annual fee with 1.5 everywhere. That would be amazing. And then this A option here, they're just going all in on the neighborhood dining and all of that kind of stuff. 2X on dining, 2X on grocery, 2X on gas. Not exciting to me at all. I just don't get very excited about 2X multipliers. 3X, different deal, but not too excited about 2X multipliers. And then they have those same kind of credits and 1X on everything else. So tell me what you think about that tier of BILT cards and which option you think is best. All right, let me go back over to the comments real quick. Gentleman Explorer said, Tahoe is made for the Gentleman Explorer. Leisurely triathlon, hike, bike, paddle, fireside beer. All right. Yeah, it's got all that stuff. It is just a relaxing place to go. If you haven't gone, we go every year for a week and we love it. So if you haven't gone, it's an awesome place to go. Thank you, Gentleman Explorer. K1 DCAT 37. I completely agree. If I could generate AS miles the way I do AA miles, it wouldn't even be a choice as to which I'd prioritize. Yeah, it would be a choice for me only because of the status factor of American Airlines miles. And American Airlines miles are real good. But Alaska, they're just overall, I think they're slightly better. And they're maybe even just as harder to get. So yeah, I think that's true. Okay, Rex. Oh my. Rex gifted 5 memberships to the Rewards Master. Rex, man, thank you so very much. And I hope the 5 people who get those, I hope you love the content. Thank you so very much. That is that's like giving a $10 super chat. That is great. I appreciate it. Actually, it's $2.99. It's like $15. Thank you so much. That's awesome. I just can't tell you how excited I am that this is going so well. And right now we still got 40 people in here. So that's great. John R. Rex is coming in hot with 3 exclamation points. That's absolutely true. So what are 1 and 2 sleeper cards that you enjoy that you feel don't get enough love? For me, it's the Venmo credit card. It gets 3% cash back in your top category of spend, 2% in your second category of spend. Well, one of them would be, as I've talked about already in this live, the Aviator Silver. I just think it's got some cool features that nobody knows about, even flight attendants on American. So that one's one. The other one is my Delta Reserve card. I know that sounds weird because I'm talking about Alaska and talking about American on here. But I do fly Delta quite a bit. And I have platinum status with Delta. And I fly Delta primarily because I love their lounges. And we have a Delta lounge at my home airport. And that card is just, to me, of all the premium cards I have, it is the easiest to get my value back because of the companion certificate and the easy use hotel credit, easy to use Resi credit. Because I live in a small community, but we do have one Resi restaurant and it's great. So those would be the 2 that are my sleeper cards. None of mine are going to be cash back. I don't have any cash back cards really, except the Amazon Prime Visa. That's basically it, because I just don't cash back. I just can't get as excited about it. So I know if you do the math, I can add up and I can buy points and all that, but I don't know. I guess I don't want to think about it that much, but yeah, I mean, we all have our sleeper cards that we're like, why aren't more people excited about these? So for me right now, it would be those 2. Thank you. That was from B. Travasio. All right. Rex says, John R., you're next. Oh, big smile there. That's awesome. B. Travasio, plus 1% on everything else. And there are no foreign transaction fees. It can be a powerful card if you have in the right spot. Yeah. I didn't even really know about that one. Thank you. That's the Venmo credit card. So I'll have to check it out. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right. So let's go to the final tier. This is the big boy tier of these coming BILT cards. Okay. So in this tier, we've got, they're just trying to make a premier credit card. And I got to tell you, these don't excite me whatsoever, but I'm kind of over the premium travel cards. I mean, I've had American Express Business Platinum. I've saved the Platinum. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll get it one of these days for the sign-up bonus when it's really big. But then I'll use it for a year and probably downgrade or cancel. I mean, I'm over it. I just am over it because the lounges, I get those same lounges, not Priority Pass, but that's a whole nother story. But I get Centurion and Delta with my Delta Reserve that I really love. So that doesn't excite me. This new way that they're doing the Sapphire Reserve does not excite me at all. I mean, the edit collection, all that. No way. Just not going to do it. And then the Venture X, the way they've nerfed it, I'm kind of over them. But now they're going to try to sell me on a new one. And this one's even worse, in my opinion. I looked at both of these. Now, the 1.25X on the B category, B column, is pretty interesting on mortgage and rent, but it's $550 a year. And they're assuming that I put great value on Priority Pass because they aren't giving back the full $580. They're giving $380 in credits, and a big portion of it is for gyms and stuff. I'm not going to use that. So I would have to value Priority Pass. And you know how much I value Priority Pass? Just not very much at all. I know. I've been in dozens and dozens and dozens of Priority Passes, and I know overseas they're really nice. But when I fly overseas, I'm always flying in business class. I always have access to a fantastic lounge. And because I have the Delta card and because I have the AA card, they give me access to their partners when I'm flying them. I'm just kind of over Priority Pass. I mean, every time I try to go to one in the States, it's just not as nice. And there's a long wait. And now I can't bring in guests like I used to. It's just, thank you, but no thank you. I don't need another card with Priority Pass. I mean, I don't. So I guess they're thinking that makes it worth that value, but definitely not. Now, the multipliers on some of these, I mean, if they had like a 4X dining category, I'd be all about that. But no, it's 4X neighborhood dining in the B column. And then 4X direct flight bookings. Well, a lot of cards are doing that now. My AA card gives me 4X on AA flights. So, I mean, that doesn't excite me. It just, these cards just seem like, I guess they they think that somebody, what I really think is happening? I think all these card issues really want people to just use their card. And I get it. They want all that spend to go on their card. That's why they're putting these $75,000 spend incentives and all that. But people like us, people who maximize, people who play this game, well, we're not their target audience anyway. But for me, these are not exciting whatsoever. All right, let's go back to comments. We've got 48 people. That is the highest of all time on the Rewards Master. 48 people. That is awesome. Let's see. Rex says, John R., you're next. We already said that one. Let's see what else we got. Rex also said, if B of A could sort out transfer partners, then I'd concede the Alaska points value if we could transfer from PRE or travel card. Yeah, I mean, we need more competitors that have transfer partners. But I'm guessing that some of those transfer partners, they charge too much, or maybe it's hard to get in with them since they already have so many partners already. I don't know how that's working, but yeah, that would be interesting. Let's see. John R. says, Rex, B of A has zero interest in playing the travel game with transfer partners. Yeah, I don't think they like what they do. They like their customer base. It seems that way. Vincent says, PayPal debit is a great 5% card. It is. Now, I've seen that, and I've tried to think about how to use that, especially since, you don't have to use a credit pull and all that to get it. So that's really awesome. All right, I don't even know what to say. Chad's Money Minutes, $9.99 for all you do, brother. Man, oh, man. That is awesome. Thank you, Chad. That means the world to me. I appreciate it. That is like, wow, that is amazing. John R. says, Chad, 3 exclamation points. Calling you out on that awesome, awesome gift. I appreciate it. Rodrigo Mendez, thoughts on the new Strata Elite? Okay. I have the Prestige card. Everybody who has the Prestige card is not going to have positive thoughts on the Strata Elite unless all these rumors aren't true. Because, man, getting 6X dining on Friday and Saturday nights, that is just no way. I mean, going down to 3X dining, that's why that card's amazing. 5X on airfare, 5X on dining, 5X on other, different portals. I mean, you can use that card. The Prestige, I use that card on Expedia and I get 5X. I mean, it is amazing. And then you get the 4th night free twice a year. I think they're taking all that stuff away and they're going the coupon book route. And I am going to grieve it, but I'm going to let it go. And I've just been like, I've had that card for years. I'm probably one of the biggest advocates of the Prestige card. And I just don't even know what to say. City. And I'm just going to probably transfer out my City points and dump City altogether. I know I still got the custom cash and it's awesome. But that the thing is that I really only use my City points for 2 transfer partners. I use it for British Airways. I use it for Virgin Atlantic, also Air France. So those 3. But wait, is British Airways their transfer partner? Maybe not. I don't know. But I use it for 2 of them. And, I would rather have Alaska or American points. They're just more valuable. So that's just the way that it goes. All right. B. Travascio, $10. Thank you so much. That helps me out a ton. Thank you for all you do and for all your insights. Thank you. I appreciate the support. I kind of thought when I started doing this kind of thing that there'd be a lot of trolls out there. And every now and again, somebody's a little negative. But, man, it's like 99% of people are really positive, uplifting, encouraging. This is the greatest community on YouTube, I think. I'm biased, I know, but I think the credit card community is just classy people. And thank you so much for that super chat. I appreciate it so much. Rex says, John R., that seems to be the case, but doesn't B of A have the Alaska card? Means the plumbing is there. Okay. B of A does have the Alaska card. I mean, I guess they wouldn't want to compete with themselves. So that's true. Thank you, Rex. Too easy. That new City Strata card with 1.5 isn't too bad. Yeah. If that comes true, I really don't think it will. Maybe, but who knows? How much of those rumors are accurate and how much of them aren't? I don't know, but I'm just, from what I saw and nerfing the best parts of the card, that's what's hard for me to get over on anything else in that regard. And I can tell you, if I got a BILT card that was 1.5 versus a City card that was 1.5, I'll take the BILT points all day at that rate, because I'll transfer them to Alaska, or if not that Hyatt. So that would be better. John R says, Rex, yes, they have the Alaska cards. And then Solid Liquid Fox says, Strata Elite is just a continuation of what we have seen in the United cards and CSR. These banks aren't playing with high-end cards and churners. Yeah, they're wanting to shut us down. We'll find a way to win, but they're wanting to shut us down. Manuel says, are you more of an airline card guy and not into hotel cards or status? I have several hotel cards, but the only hotel card I love is the Aspire card. I'm going to move more into it, maybe get a Surpass, do the 15,000 spend on it, because I really love my Aspire card. I think that is one of the best cards in the world. The other cards don't. We have like a Hyatt card. We use it some. My spouse uses it overseas some, because they never give us any issues about fraud alerts and stuff. But no, we have an IHG card. We have a Marriott, just the $95 one to get the free night certificates. But I'm not as into that, because I guess it's just us. But when we travel overseas, we're out on excursions all the time. And, I hate to say it, we love staying in a Waldorf or a Conrad, but we can be happy in a Courtyard or a Fairfield Inn. I mean, we can be happy there as long as it's clean. The funny thing is we always talk about free breakfast, but cheaper hotels always have free breakfast. So I know that's a very hot take and not popular in this community, but it's just the way I look at it. So I buy a lot of hotel rooms on the AA hotel portal and get 10X with my executive card. So that's kind of how it works for me. Gentleman Explorer, Chase, Amex, and even Cap One seems to be moving to against maximizers, hoping this is cyclical and not the end game. Well, when they start losing customers, it'll all change again. My prediction, it's cyclical. So, I mean, history's just that way in everything. I've told y'all I'm an educator, and I teach some history courses, and history is always cyclical. It always comes back around. Just got to be patient. Just got to be patient. All right, QC man, no chance of the Prestige being deferred, allowing current cardholders to choose the new Elite or keep the Prestige. That's definitely going to be a forced product change. I don't think anything's definite, but that's the rumor. And I'm crossing. If they let me keep it, I will jump to the rooftops. I'll be excited, but I'm afraid because of what they did. I didn't want to give up my Rewards Plus card either. I love that card. I never use it, but I love it. And they made a forced product change in that, so it seems that way. Nuracan 71. Me and my wife each completed the sub on the Alaska card. I received $70K and $99 companion pass. My wife's sub, she got 60,000 miles and the companion pass. Yeah, that's awesome. Tell me, I'd love to know how the companion pass is working for y'all. I haven't used it yet, but we've got that coming too. So we got the 60K. QC Man 2000 gifted 1 Rewards Master membership. Thank you so much. That's awesome. All right. Jackson Daniels, I need 2. I need to do more research on the AA executive card. It's a high fee, but before today, I didn't know that they had 10X hotel portal. Yeah. And let me give you a trick here. Their hotels are sometimes higher than if you booked them through the hotel, but not, at least in my experience, it could be different. But every time I've checked, Marriott hotels, and I mean everything from Fairfields all the way up, are the same price. And you're getting 10X AA. And you're getting the bonus LP and bonus points through the portal. So it's not uncommon for me to spend $150 on a hotel night, and I get 150 times 10. So I get 1,500 AA miles with that. And then them give me another 2,000 AA miles with that portal and 2,000 loyalty points. So I'm getting 150 loyalty points on the purchase, 1,500 American miles, and then I'm getting another 2,000 or so points with American and 2,000 loyalty points. It's pretty awesome. All right, I'm bumping up on when I told y'all I'd wrap up. So let me get to the last comments here. Let me thank you. I'm having trouble counting everything everybody gave me today. I can't even believe this. I am just humbled and overwhelmed by all the gifts today and the gifted channel memberships. Some of you given $1.99. Some of you given channel memberships. One person gave 5 channel memberships. Some of you gave $9.99, $10. I'm overwhelmed and humbled so deeply by that. Thank you. All right. Too Easy said, thank you, QC man. Solid Liquid Fox. So the Alaska Premium card, the last hope for a positive high-end card. Yeah, I hope it is. I don't know. I like the AA Executive and I like the Delta Reserve. I like them. And I like the Aspire. I think those are all 3 very good high-end cards. I hope they don't see the CSR and Strata Elite as good examples. I hope not too. QC man gives a thumbs up. I appreciate it, man. I really do. Too Easy says, do you keep your status through AA portal? Yeah, I mostly through their hotel portal. And I fly on AA a lot too, probably 15 times a year. So I get a lot of status with that, but also through the portal, both shopping and the hotel portal. Man, some of the shopping stuff, I mean, sign up for one of these food delivery places and then boom, you've got 3,500 points and then keep it a month or two and cancel. It's pretty easy. Gold Homer 2,209 says, I would absolutely love to buy Visa gift cards from Walgreens at 5X. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but do they have like they do at Office Depot and stuff where you can get them with no fee? Sometimes I don't know if they do those deals. Euris Booth says, hey, Professor, joined late. We'll rewatch. All right. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah, you pretty much always log in to these, and I appreciate that so much. Vincent Pascal says, $1.99 super chat. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. Like I said, I can't even believe this today. I'm so humbled by it all. You guys have been so, like I said, best community in all the world on the YouTube credit card world. Rex Blind, everybody loves your content. Good research, good facts. Hey, man, I appreciate that so much. And I'm going to wrap it up there for today. I got more, but I'll just throw it at the end of the next live, hopefully next Sunday. So thank you guys. I don't even know how to express. You've been so generous and so helpful and supportive of the channel. And thank you for the nice words more than anything else, the encouraging words. Like I said, this is just the best community. And I appreciate every single one of you. If you are a channel member, make sure to send me a note on the Discord. It's available to channel members, and you can ask questions. We can dialogue, stuff like that. So I'd appreciate it. And with that, I will see all of you as we wrap up with 41 people. See you here next time.